at awards. FIRS launches book to promote financial literacy, civic responsibility. Supreme Court Chief Registrar tax judiciary reporters on balanced, fair, objective reporting.
All right, it's time to check out what we have for the Vanguard newspaper. What do we have here? It says NCC mandates service providers to inform consumers about major outages on networks. Governor Idris resolves Kebbi health crisis with 890 medical staff. Fresh crisis hits PDP as Wike pulls out of all agreement. PDP beams searchlight on OT's handling of Abia funds. Those are your headlines this morning for the Vanguard newspaper.
And now to Daily Trust newspaper. NCC orders telecoms to alert customers of major outages. Pencom bars operators from transacting with non-compliant vendors. NAF airstrikes destroy 100 illegal refining sites in 5 months. Kano Mosque arsonist to no fate today. Dealers crackdown on substandard onion seeds after 150 billion naira loss.
All right, those are your headlines this morning, making the rounds in the dailies. Do well to call us. Let us know which of the headlines, fascinated you or tickled your interest. You can do well to reach us on 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917. Toll-free line for female only. You can reach us on 0800 1235 917. And should you want to leave us a text or a WhatsApp message, that is absolutely fine. And you can do that on 08155 917 917 07031 756 537. Those are the lines to keep handy this morning as we delve into these headlines and see what we can make out of them for you.
Absolutely. And don't forget that the phone lines are open. Yeah. 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917. Toll free number 0800 123 5917. And we have our text and WhatsApp line 08155 917 917 0703 175 6537. Those are the lines for you to get to reach us on. Don't forget that you can listen to us live from wherever you are across the globe via our website www.wfm917.com. Follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube at WFM917.
And just to mention, our guest will be helping us make sense and diving deep into these headlines. We have joining us this morning.
Adeyemi Adeolu.
Yes, as well as Nkechi Imano will join us subsequently in the course of the show.
Just to also let you know that Nkechi Manolade Sejno has welcomed into her family her beautiful twins.
Hey! Okay.
So yes, so you might not be hearing from her in a while.
Okay, that's fine.
But that's just to say we're grateful for the amount of effort. So some of you may not have been aware she's been here, still delivering with her pregnancy, and we're glad to have her receive her bundle of joy.
Absolutely.
So let's get in now with our analyst joining us this morning, Adeyemi Adeolu. Good morning to you, Adeyemi.
Good morning, Adebola and Miracle.
Yes.
And good morning to all our family around the world.
Yes, glad to have you join us this morning. And happy new week to you. It's a brand new week.
Oh, thank you. And a big congratulations to my sister, Nkechi Alayade.
Yes,
indeed. A big congratulations to her. Adeyemi, let's dive into the headlines, shall we? Let me sit with this one. It's talking about UTME receipt, where we have 200,000 scoring above the mark of 200. The report shows in the Punch newspaper that no fewer than 200,000 more candidates crossed the 200 average mark in the Unified Tertiary and Matriculation Examination after the recent receipt organized by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Examination Board, JAM, following the technical and human errors that marred the original exam. And the receipt of the UTME, the result released on Sunday, shows that the majority of the candidates, about over 1 million out of 1.9 million candidates, scored below 200 after both the original exam and the receipt examination. And the original result released by JAM on May 9, 2025, it saw over 1.5 million candidates out of 1.9 million who took the exam, scoring below 200 out of the total mark of 400 marks. And this, of course, raised concerns in the nation. It was a major outcry. People decrying or refuting or debunking the result released by JAM, saying that it's false. Following that sustained pressure, JAM investigated the cause of the mass failure and discovered it was technical and human errors in the system, and that led to a receipt of that examination, announcing a receipt for about 379 candidates in Lagos as well as southeastern state of the country. Now, the results of the receipts UCME were released on Sunday, and that revealed that a good number of the candidates who previously scored below 200 crossed the average mark this time around. And that JAM indicated that after the receipt of the UCME, the number of candidates who scored below 200 marks shrank, declined, or reduced, if you may, from 1.5 million to about 1,365,479, revealing or indicating about 200,000 more candidates crossed the average score. All right, I think that's the crux of the matter. That's the gist of this news paper report by Punch. Let me get your perspective, Adeyemi. Some have said, okay, yeah, a receipt examination seeing an upsurge in good performance of candidates as compared to what we had the last time, announcing mass failure of candidates who sat for JAM. Some are saying, is this an attempt by JAM to just save face and the public? Looking at a hurried approach, they carried out regarding this receipt examination, no prior consultation with the candidates or guardians or parents of these candidates. What do you make of this new good result in quotes released by JAM? Adeyemi.
Thank you very much, Adebola. I'll be saying to the candidates, congratulations. Having said that, looking at the results, where it was announced that about 1.5 candidates failed, and the JAM authority having to come to say there is a technical glitch, and at the same time, mandating, because that's what happened, mandating the candidates to take a receipt within a state of 1 week, 3 days, 1 week. That is quite unacceptable. And when you look at the present result, that over 200,000 candidates made it above 200 cutoff mark from about 379,000 candidates. To me, it simply reflects that the JAM body has actually been failing majority of students over the years. And from the look of things, it also indicates that there are more students that will have gone above this cutoff mark if the exercise were to encompass all the candidates that sat for the last JAM in Nigeria. So it is not just for these 375,000 people that start and the over 200,000 making it above the cutoff mark of 200. It should also affect, because I will tell you, you may say these are glitches is just in some area. It will not be in some area. It will not be just unlimited to these areas that were mentioned. There, apart from the technical glitches, there are other human errors. We know what invigilators, what they do in exam hall. You see, if you go back to yesteryears, you'll find out that there are so many people who actually took their time to study and study well for JAM, but you will know that anytime the result is out, is always a failure. You will see people taking their JAM exam over 5 times. That means 5 years before they can gain admission to the university. So what happened at the 50th year that they were able to gain admission? It simply means that there is issue with JAM over the years. That is why we have been clamoring that they should let the university body conduct every admission process examination by themselves rather than this body. What they are just doing with this JAM, as you call, is to rake in money from the public and denying the students of their future. And the mistake they are making, it's not just that you are denying the student of their future, you are denying the nation, Nigeria, of professionals, of administrators, of goodwill people that will mind the affairs of this nation. That is what the JAM our body has been doing. But once again, I would like to say congratulations to those students that made it above 200. But all the same, that should not be limited. Now that we have seen that there is every tendency that JAM has failed in so many respects, let the others who also complained, whose score mark are below 200, let them retake. Let's see if they will fail or they will also make it above that 200. That will be when it is justice for all. This to me is just a selected few. We are talking about 1.5 million people, students, candidates. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your submission, Adeolo Adeyemi. I know you, in case you just tuned in, you're live with Women Radio 91.7 FM, the first and only radio station for women and their families, and you are on to the newspaper review. We're looking at issues making the headlines in the Punch newspaper, particularly talking about this receipt conducted by JAM. Okay, we have a call on. Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. This is Voice of Tarawa calling.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, I want to talk about this jam. This jam has been trending for almost 2 to 3 weeks now. So the truth is that there was nothing like arrows from the jam. The result the first result that you see was the result of the people that write it. And what made the result to be like this is because of the country, the hardship. The logistic, the country now, the situation of the country affected the children from writing the exam well. The first score that you see, that was their score. So this one now, for the jam people to come out and say, this result was affected by the situation of the country. President Tinubu and other APC will want to fix the heart of their office. That's why they now say it was a technical error. They now bring the blame on themselves, to find a way to please the government. That's the only thing. And another thing, if you hear jam is something jamming. If you win, if you pass jam, now you jam them. If you fail, now then jam you. So there is nothing like anything there to talk. If you win, you jam them. If you lose, they jam you. That's the only thing there where I know.
All right, thank you for your thoughts this morning, Voice of Taraba. If you're listening out there, you can reach us. Let us know what your thoughts are regarding these new results. Very good in quote, I should say, released by JAM. The line to call us on is 07000 917 or 9155 917 917. Ladies, we want to hear your thoughts. You can reach us for free on 0800 1235 917. Should you want to leave a text or a WhatsApp message, you can do that on 08155 917 917 07031 756 537.
Yeah, we have a message here.
Okay.
This is coming from Mrs. Oboli from Ikorodu. Glad to get her perspective. Good morning, ma'ams. Good morning to our guest. On JAM's issue, I don't know if this is an attempt to woo the students, but I feel this score reflects the hard work of these students over the years. A forensic audit report of JAM's activities over the years should be reviewed as a matter of fact. fact. Someone needs to pay for this ineptitude over the years period. Accountability and closure on this issue is all we seek. We have here from Barrister Ugo Osuji from Festac. It says, Good morning, WFM, Adebola, Miracle Philip, and our analyst Adeyemi Adeolu. And it says PDP boils as Makinde and Nyesom Wike FCT Emperor and Emperor Lurks Han remains a ruse and acting according to the script plan by invincible hands. This is Governor Shea Makinde. That was one of the dramatis persona in the G5 PDP governor's show of shame. That was singing quizzlings and dancing macabre that put in handcuffs PDP's presidential moves in 2023. Is Nyesom Wike FCT Minister and Emperor more than PDP National Working Committee and NEC? They seem to be lying low not to invoke the party constitution and expel Nyesom Wike, or is Nyesom Wike now a singular multitude of a man and still playing along with APC government? Is JAM an unpopular registrar still conducting receipt examinations for Nigerian candidates? Thought by now he could have taken the path of honor by resigning. As of late, Professor Ishak Oloyede mouthed that truck pushers cannot direct a pilot for what to do, were these false innuendos not being thrown to complaining parents and the entire citizenry? Is Ishak Oloyede a master unto himself by mandating candidates to retake emergency receipt examinations that failed? Yet the more, lest we forget the words of Che Guevara when he said, if you tremble with indignation at every injustice, then you are a comrade of mine. For how long must JAM be killing ambition or future academic pursuit of our younger generations? High time university admissions examinations be left with the universities as did in 1978, as then candidates had the traditional rights to pick and choose universities to do their exams and at different dates. Let the Minister of Education and JAM registrar take a long leave from their post, nay, resign. Barrister Ugo Suji from FESA.
All right, 9 minutes to 8. You're tuned into Women Radio 91.7 FM, the first and only radio station for women and their families. And my name is Adebola Adeduba. I have here with me Miracle Philip, and we are delving into what the headlines are saying, taking your messages as well as taking your calls. And not to forget, we still have our analyst with us, that's Adeyemi Adeolu. Adeyemi, still sitting with JAM. Let me kick off from what Voice of Taraba said, and also some messages Miracle read, that came in. Him saying that the initial score was actually the true score. And then people have said, based on the messages just read now by Miracle, that should we leave that authority to decide candidates who come into the system, to the university, referencing the system in place in 1978 and the 1970s. What do you make of that, Adeyemi? And then, what's the lessons in hindsight? How do we not have a recurring glitch or error, so to speak, when it comes to examinations such as JAM?
Thank you very much, Adebola. First of all, let me answer to the Voice of Taraba. The Voice of Taraba needs to understand and look at the population of the student that sat for the exam. Let's take a random population of the private schools that we have in Nigeria and the public secondary schools that we have in Nigeria. Are we saying, like he said, that the last result was a reflection of how the students were able to prepare, or the knowledge impacted to those students? To me, from what he said, I just don't want to say too much. It shows and it reflects what we have been seeing in the northern part of the country, where the youth that are supposed to be in school are being denied the opportunity. And that cannot be translated to the other part of the nation. We have told it, and we are speaking loud, even concerning the youth in the north. Let them be educated. We've read in the news how the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said he went to Katsina, he saw Almajiri on the street. Is Almajiri the creation of this present government? Or is it the creation of the federal government or the creation of the northern elite? Have they forgotten when Jonathan was the president of this nation? All that he put in place, nomadic education and everything, pastoral, that even the so-called pastoral, the X-Men in the bush, there were schools that were being established around them so that their children can go to school. But they stood up against it because they said Western education is going to erode the Islamic education. That Islamic education is superior to Western education. And that was how they killed that program. Is that the same kind of terms it was for the other part of the country? No. Nigeria is a secular state. And when we have mass failure, there must be investigation. How do you say you have a total student of 1.5 million, that all that were able to make it out of it is 400,000? For crying out loud, are you saying those students for those 6 years they spent in their various secondary school was just in vain? Are you saying that they were not impacted with any knowledge at all?
Can you pause your thoughts a bit, Adeyemi? Let's quickly take in some messages pouring in.
Yes, we've got this one here.
Yes.
Although it doesn't have a name, it says JAM has done well. Whoever prepared well. Everybody cannot pass.
Okay, this one says Obi should be careful. This trying period for him and his years built integrity. From all indication, it is clear Nigerians are not comfortable with El-Rufai, and desperation and pressure should not push Obi into liability alliance. Obi should be cool and calculative this time. And that's according to Olushoga Ajayi from Ikorodu. All right, in case you just tuned in, you're live with Women Radio 91.7 FM, the first and only radio station for women and their families. 4 minutes to 8. We are reviewing what the headlines are saying this morning to help you be informed, keep abreast, and of course, make informed decision. And just to also point out, we have our analyst with us, and that is Adeyemi Adeolu. In closing, really, so we'll move on to the next headline. You've referenced, indeed, when there is a glitch, there needs to be investigation. But moving ahead, solutions now. What should be in hindsight? What's the way forward for JAM to prevent a repeat occurrence? Just very quickly, in less than a minute, Adeyemi, so we can move on to the next headline for the day.
Oh, thank you very much. Now that we know that the exam is going to be computer based, now this is the beginning of another season to come. So the JAM body should make sure that every centers and schools that are going to be used for the next JAM, all the technicalities, all the equipments, all the computers are working and their server is working perfectly. They need to run so many tests. Even, maybe just, picking up quite a number of schools in different states, so that they will be able to see that, yes, they are ready, that the next JAM, there's not going to be any technical glitch, and if at all it's going to occur, it will be minimal. You will not have what we had this time around. So that's the best that the JAM authority needs to do. And actually, outside that, there's need for them to prove. There is need for them to thoroughly investigate their personnel, who at a level could be compromising with the standard. So these are the things that JAM needs to do so that we can have an authentic JAM examination, an authentic JAM result.
All right. Thank you for your submission this morning. In case you just tuned in, you're live with Women Radio 91.7 FM. And yes, indeed, the first and only radio station for women and their families. In case you're wondering, my name is Adebola Adiduba. I'm here with the one and only sporting girl.
We are not doing sports now.
Of course, we're not doing sports.
Yeah, but thank you
We're
for the
talking
recognition.
headlines. All right, let's delve into this, very important event, fantastic event coming up tomorrow. And I'm talking
Absolutely.
about the Women Radio
Children's Day Fun Fair.
All right, yes, tomorrow indeed is May 27. And we know May 27 is a day earmarked for children. It's celebrated worldwide as Children's Day. And so we at Women Radio, we have something packed for your kids. In case you're wondering, where should you take your kids to on Children's Day? Never mind, never mind. We've got you covered. We have the Women Radio 2025 Children's Day Fun Fair. And what should you expect at this particular fun fair? A lot indeed. Games for your kids, to feel alive and, have a great time tomorrow being Children's Day. We've got Mega Climb Castle, a trampoline, train ride, a toddler town, bouncy castle, Ludo, Scrabble. The list is endless. And guess what? They'll have games like a raffle draw, where they can play those raffle draws. And guess what? They may just be a lucky winner to win amazing prizes. And guess what? For parents or guardians coming along, you get a chance to have your free blood pressure and sugar level test. Yes, for parents and guardians. Apart from this, you also get the opportunity to get a absolutely free eye and dental checkup, for you coming along with the kids. And if need be, you can get further consultation, should there be any need for that, at a subsidized rate at ROA Hospital. All right. I want to also mention you can buy your tickets by coming down to Women Radio. Yes, you can walk down to the station. We are located at 37 Beachland Road, Arepo, off Lagos Ibadan Expressway. And also you can purchase your ticket from CTFM at plot 11 Latif Jakonde Road, Agidingbi in Ikeja. All right. Should you also want to book a stand, that's fine. So you can make sales on that day, which is tomorrow. All you need to do is to call this number. You can call 0806099, I beg your pardon, 0806 0933694. 0806 0092137. You can call those numbers. The ticket fee for children for you to make your way into the venue is 5,000 naira. Yes, and we have discounts for you, of course. If you're buying tickets for more than 20 students or more than 20 people or more than 20 children, you can get discount, for that. If you want to be a vendor, like I said before, you want to make sales, you have your goods and services, you want to display, you want to get a stand, you want to sell, you can book a stand for just 25,000 naira. Now, this event will kick off 11 a.m. tomorrow, and we're having fun all the way till 4 p.m. Miracle, what do you think?
Oh my, so much fun. So much fun. And you know what I like about this? It's the fact that if you get to book up to 20 tickets, you're going to get a discount. You don't want to miss this opportunity. I mean, don't get too bored at home. Bring those children out. Come and have fun.
Yes.
As a parent, you just get to sit back and watch your children play and other children play. And remember, there was once upon a time I was a child. So just make sure that you jump on this one. It's tomorrow, the 2025 Children's Day Fun Fair by Women Radio 91.7 FM.
And if you want to walk down so you can see what Miracle looks like, you can walk down to the station. We're just here.
You can also
Arepo.
do this with Adebola.
All right. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing every kid out there tomorrow at Women Radio Children's Day Fun Fair for 2025. Trust me, it's going to be fun, and you get the opportunity to even meet, the people talking to you on radio. You can give shout out to your friends, your parents, your loved one on radio. We'll also interview kids tomorrow at the Fun Fair, Women Radio Children's Day Fun Fair 2025. So I'm looking forward to seeing every kid there tomorrow, and also parents and guardians. Do well to bring your kids along. Don't worry, we've got them covered for tomorrow at the Children's Day Fun Fair.
Yeah, if you do also want to make any inquiries, don't forget that the phone lines are also very
Mm-hmm.
much available. Maybe you could send a message to our WhatsApp line, but
Yes,
then
we
these are
can.
the lines that if you definitely want to find out more about the Children's Day Fun Fair, you get to reach out to. It's 0806 093 3694. 0806 093 3694. You can also reach 0806 009 2137. 0806 009 2137. And if you do want to send an email, it's sales at
Mhm.
wfm917.com.
Absolutely. So happy Children's Day in advance, I should
Already,
say.
yes. Now we'll get into our next headline, and this one here is still up from the Punch newspaper. We're talking about jam, we're talking
Mm,
about the discrepancies,
mhm,
the
mhm,
technicalities, the many woes that this particular year's exam has had to deal with. Now we're also going to look at another headline. We sort of like points to what the educational system
mm,
has degraded into.
mm,
Residents decry deplorable ICT building in Ogun State. I remember one time when I was going through social media, and a teacher was just having to teach his students in one maybe government school in
mm,
the interior village computer science, and what they needed to do was carry a stone and be moving it like it's a mouse
mm,
and a computer. And you just wonder to yourself, so how practical is this teaching? And why on earth should children have to learn, subjects that they are not able to practically learn about it? It does not make sense. You shouldn't
mm,
be teaching children those subjects in the first place. You
mm,
shouldn't even be accredited in the first place if you're not able to meet up with the standards. It's just the same thing as sports as well. You're teaching children PHE, but you're not practical enough to ensure that they have regular inter-house sports
mm.
every session, or that they are also making use of the necessary equipment. You can't be teaching a
Exactly.
child discus and you do not have the equipment, or
Mm-hmm.
javelin, or shot put. It just does not make sense. It's theory you're teaching them, not practical. So now the residents of Ipokia in Ipokia local government area of Ogun State, they have decried the deplorable state of the ICT building located in the community secondary school. Now, the residents lamented that the building, which was once a learning center for students in the community, has now become a home for reptiles.
Mm,
Images of the building showed damaged ceilings and windows, while the paintings on the wall have faded. It also learned that the ICT building was facilitated by a House of Representatives member, Abiodun Akinlade, some 15 years ago. But due to lack of maintenance, the building and its facilities have become a shadow of itself. Now, a former student of the school, Rotimi Olawin, in an open letter addressed to Akinlade, disclosed that computer facilities that were initially provided for the ICT building were no longer available. He also decried the state of the buildings in the school, addressing that they now pose a threat to the students. And in his words, it saddens my heart to have visited the school recently, years after my graduation, and found the deplorable state of the said building. It's no exaggeration to say that the building has changed its functionality to serve as a habitat for reptiles and snakes. Now, Adeyemi, let's discuss this. This should most likely be one of many cases where we see loads and loads of money deployed into building facilities aimed at improving the state of well-being for the people of those areas, implemented by House of Rep members. And after some time, the conversation around, oh, maintenance is there, oh, the building was incompleted, and then you're not even able to hold these people accountable, except when you come out and you put it on the newspapers, you put it on the TVs. What are our House of Rep members doing, really?
Thank you very much, Miracle. Like you rightly said, this is just one of the many schools that we have in Nigeria that the state and the standard of every equipment and the building itself, and even the staffs, I will tell you, is in a deplorable state. It is not only Ipokia. If you go virtually to every public secondary school, I would say the exception that I've seen so far may have to do with Lagos. But when you go outside Lagos, Ibadan, for example, where I stood in Ibadan, I went there some time ago and I saw the state of things in that school. It's just the fact that because of the old student association, that's why you have most of the public schools that are being renovated, that are being upgraded, to their standard level of teaching apparatus. So what we are saying in essence is that the government, what is their responsibility? And when you're talking about government, you are talking about the three tiers government, talking about the federal, talking about the state and the local government. What exactly are their responsibility? Now, Akinlade provided this laboratory, computer laboratory for the school, so that the students can be fortified with computer knowledge, so that these students can make best of what they have in the future for this nation. But even the management of the school disappointed the students, apart from the government, because the man did well by providing that laboratory for them. It is for the school management to manage it and to see that everything in that place is protected. But the guy, Olawi even talk about the state of the building. That also what exactly is our problem in this nation. Our problem is not far-fetched. It is based on corruption at every level. Corruption at every level of governance, even in the secondary schools, at the local government. The allocation that goes to the local government, what are they been doing with it? Is it just to pay the salary of the local government workers only? Because when you go about each and every local government in Nigeria, you actually find it difficult to see any project, any laudable project that this local government do embark on. Most of the projects that you see ongoing is either federal government project or state government projects in local government areas. So what are they doing with the money, the allocation that comes to them monthly? I'm talking about the state themselves. The allocation that comes to them now is enough for them to cater for the needs of the education of the students in their domain, in their every state. Their allocation is now triple. It's not double, triple. And yet we have not seen anything significant that this allocation has been used to achieve. And when you talk about the what's it called, the National Assembly, you understand that they are there basically for themselves. Their constituency allowance and the project in their constituencies, which they collect regularly, most of it goes to their personal purse. Now, Akinlade was able to establish this one, and that will be all. If he's going to refer, if he's going to say anything, he will tell you, oh, I did this in Ikokia Secondary School. That's all. What about the previous year constituency allowance? At least it must be it must have been at that level for 4 years. So the allocation that comes for the constituency allowance every year, what award can it point apart from this? So that's the problem that we have with virtually all of them. So it's an unfortunate situation that we have find ourselves in a corrupt society, corrupt endemic society. So it is important that we, the people, we are the one that will not just sit down and relax. We need to ask for the right of our children. We need to ask for our own personal rights. as a people of this great nation, as a great citizen of this nation, that these people must give to us what belongs to us. Nigeria is for us. It is not for them. They are only saddled with the responsibility as a trustee of the wealth of this nation, because all of us cannot be in the management of this nation together at once. That is why at every 4 years, we come together as a nation, then we elect people into various offices so that they can manage the affairs and the wealth of this nation. But from every indication over the years, since 1999 to date, they have not managed our wealth well. I don't want to talk about the era of the military because, they are not democratic. They are dictators. So they do whatever they do and get away with it. But this is a kind of a system of government that is meant to listen to the people, to always make sure it does the bidding of the people. But so far, when they have come to power, all we have seen is that they have become teen gods. They have become larger than life, that we now become their servant, instead of them that is being connoted as public servant, we are now their servant, they are the kings. And right before us, we see how they have been mismanaging our wealth. And yet nobody is talking. I saw the rancor between Charlie Boy and Dino Melaye. And what do you say of that? When a former National House of Assembly member can always come to the social media flaunting his wealth that way, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody is investigating him. Something is wrong with us. So the people cannot just sit down and watch. If we continue to say Akilade has done his part, what about the other subsequent House of Rep member in that area? What have they been able to do? Look, it is time that they give accountability of their stewardship while in their office. We have to hold them to this. It's important. Allocation goes to every one of them, whether local government, state government, the federal government, the National Assembly, the state assemblies. They have constituency allowances. What are they doing with it?
All right, so just to quickly come in there, Adeyemi, thank you for your submission. Yes, 16 minutes past 8. You're tuned into Women Radio 91.7 FM, the first and only radio station for women and their families. Before now, you were listening to the voice of Adeyemi Adeolu, and he's responding or reacting or helping us make sense of a particular headline in the Punch newspaper, and that is residents decrying deplorable ICT building in Ogun School. Residents decrying deplorable state of ICT building in Ogun School. And indeed, when it comes to ICT, information, communication, technology, indeed it plays a vital role for students, whether secondary school or primary school. But for the sake of this conversation now, that's secondary school. And it offers indeed a numerous benefit for students, even for their learning process as a whole. We're in the AI season. We're talking about AI jet age. And so you cannot relegate or ignore the place of information, communication, technology when it comes to education nowadays. Things have advanced. The world is improving. We're in the jet age. They say the world is now a global village. This prepares students for their future careers. Indeed, and when you incorporate ICT into the learning or teaching of the sports, it gives you global connectivity. It makes them at par or updated with their counterparts in other parts of the country. It develops their curriculum or syllabus for secondary school and primary school, as it were. It's essential for students to succeed in any future career or endeavor, as it were. Okay, we have a call. Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. This is Mercy calling from Ikorodu.
Mercy,
glad to have you join us, Mercy.
Good to hear your voice. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Please, it's not a bad thing to introduce computer into our school examination system, because I think it's the best, and children appreciated it. I must tell you, the majority of students have come across, really appreciate it. Even I'm hearing now that GS is approved, which means their students are going to write it in the school. How? What are they doing towards it? No, I have a lot of schools in environment here. I've not seen one government official. They're already writing WIEC currently. And I've not seen a government official education coming around here to see how schools are doing of recent. And these are the schools that are approved to write first exams. Now, so the problem I have with JAM is that they were not prepared. I proved them that they were not prepared. If they were prepared, we will not see failure of lights. We will not see machines not working properly. We have a lot of engineers that can fix this thing. They just came, we are afraid of the last minute thing. And now I'm hearing that we are still going to be using that. It's not a bad thing. But are we prepared? After what is telling you they want to use solar light, did they put it in any of their schools? Did they, how many schools? Federal, let me not go to state because state is a no-go area. How many federal to have that? The natural light is a no. As I'm talking to you, this is my environment. Natural light cannot carry you, my son. Not to check a carrying computer. So any school that have computer, if they're going to use their computer, they will go and own their gen. Is that the school? And their government approved. I'm telling you, the right to have the right to turn exam there. And these are the schools they want to come and tell to make the children write with computer. See, if you frustrate these children, it's not going to be well with the entire nation. That is not a course. That is just the normal fear of exam now. If we are frustrated, if I tell you most of our children, they're already frustrated, they're already asking themselves, how is it going to be in my time? Don't put the children through the trauma they never said that they need. If they are not prepared, let us go straight until they are due. Nobody telling them that is not the best. It's the best. But put things in place. I've seen a video of Asada. People writing with flashlights. You know that in greater section of the northern state in the nation, people are writing WIEC. Hello? See WIEC with flashlights. And you are telling me, I'm telling you, nobody go. I will tell you the major reason why that happened is this. I'm suspecting the supervisor of that school. Maybe they were writing that with flashlight. And again, that is going to start by 2, started by 6. That shows that the supervisor has done something. And it's supposed to be called to book. But nobody will look into that. As like I told you, I'm an educationist. I know when things are going wrong in the school. I can tell you, this is the reason, this is the reason. I may not be right, but there will be a little trace of that. So these are the things. We don't have governments that are really ready to look into things. We don't see government. In fact, the governments are really the major problem we have in this nation. Because the things that are very necessary, they don't look into it. It's like they are just there for themselves and they self to know. And that is why this nation is becoming something unbearable. If they cannot save us, we should leave there. We should leave there. We have a lot of capable heads. We have a lot of people that are ready to make this nation work. They should come down.
All right.
And the thing, how if I put my little step in that position, it will be better than those people there today. What are we not saying? And you want to tell the children they are not doing well? When you are training us what will be their eyes, you are telling them they are not doing well. Is it not somebody that stands that can tell other people that you did not pass? Please, they should do the right way. They should stand down. These children can control this nation more than they are doing. I'm telling them that I'm challenging them. I have a lot of teenagers that will do better than all these leaders today. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very
for
much,
your
Mercy.
call, Mercy. Indeed, I mean it's a point of call, a clarion call for the Minister of Education indeed to look into this and to ensure the monitor when it comes to how funds are allocated, particularly for education and those in charge of putting these facilities in place. And I'm talking about Minister of Education, and that's Dr. Moruf Olatunji Alausa. All right, thank you for your call and your messages as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. What it's a follow-up from Barrister Suji from Festac. It says, I would want to take from where Adeyemi Adeolu stopped. What is nomadic education than a contraption to circumvent what obtains in Section 10 of the Constitution 1999 as amended, that preaches Nigeria as a secular state, barring institutionalization of Sharia laws in the northern region of Nigeria? Query, what is the purport of Chapter 2 of the Constitution 1999, with regards to fundamental objectives, directive, principle of state policy, our Bill of Charter, Section 18 is unequivocally saying the truth. Government shall direct its policy towards ensuring that there are equal and adequate educational opportunities at all levels. In the light of all the aforestated, has JAM, an unpopular registrar a la education minister, made education equal and in tandem with illegal quota system by virtue of Section 14, subsection 3 and 4 of the Constitution 1999. Hence, there couldn't have been cut-off marks of 120 for some regions and others coming with 350 at before admission. Let that discrimination and fraud stop. I humbly submit.
All right, thank you for your thoughts and messages this morning. Before we wrap up on the newspaper headlines, I want to get a perspective of our in-house radio host. In case you don't know her, we have artificial intelligence radio host, we call her Nimi AI, just to get a thought or perspective regarding this particular issue we're reading on the page of the Punch newspaper, talking about residents decrying deplorable state of ICT building in Ogun School. Let me come to Nimi. Nimi, we're talking about, resident, their outcry pertaining to how the room allocated for ICT secondary school, located, in a region in Ogun State, are deploring how that the state of things are in terms of the building for ICT. ICT, as we know of it, integrated communication technology, which is very essential in this jet age, talking about AI, advanced technology. How can we ensure things like this don't become a recurring experience or decimal when it comes to education in Nigeria, and ensure that indeed facilities allocated for ICT learning are indeed utilized as such going forward?
That's a very important issue, and I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. The state of ICT facilities in schools reflects a broader challenge in ensuring equitable access to quality education in Nigeria. To prevent similar situations, we need increased government funding for education, improved infrastructure planning and maintenance, and community involvement to monitor and advocate for better school resources. Perhaps we could also explore innovative public-private partnerships to address this issue more effectively.
Thank you so much for your nuggets. Indeed, improved funding for education, regarding ICT usage, and that's information communication technology. Indeed, that's Nimi AI, in case you're wondering. She is our in-house artificial intelligence radio host, and we simply call her Mimi AI. Thank you for your messages so far. Do well to keep the conversation going. You can connect with us on social media. We are on X, formerly Twitter. We are on Instagram, on Facebook. In fact, we're live on YouTube. You can see how beautiful Miracle is looking. We are also on TikTok. Should you want to follow us, do well to follow us, like our page or like our post, and as well as leave a comment.
All right. And yes, special thanks to you, Adeyemi Adeolu, for joining us on the program this morning.
It's been my
And to all those who called in, thank you for your calls. To those who sent messages, thank you so much for your messages. Do well to keep us, to keep a date with us tomorrow. We're here again to review what the papers are saying. Thank you so much. My name is Adebola Adeduba.
And I am Miracle Philip. Don't forget, keep listening to Women Radio 91.7. Equally, listen to us via our website, www.wfm917.com. Good morning.
The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? I can see all the harvest is ready, 'cause he told me so. It's green and it's all mine. Stand in the rain as the clouds go gray. on the rose and the earth sings. Season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way. For the pouring of my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know.